With snow covering the streets and the ski season officially open, we figured this would be a great time for a quick field test to see how some of the top smartphones would do on the snowy mountain slopes. For this test, our usual shooting locations wouldn't do. The TV tower on the top of the close-by mountain was a prime target. Now this was going to be fun. We headed up the mountain with our pockets full of some of the best phablets on the market. The iPhone 6s Plus, the LG V10, the Huawei Mate 8, the Meizu 5 Pro, and the Samsung Galaxy Note 5. Wait a minute, who was supposed to take the Note 5? So it was down the mountain and up the mountain again. And then the actual shooting began. Wow, the views were incredible. We wanted to shoot everything inside, but with the unexpected return for grabbing the Note 5, we found ourselves in a race with time as we risked losing the light. We quickly found out that only the Note 5's touchscreen could recognize gloved fingers, and it required quite some pushing. So we had to take all the shots barehanded, and the cold quickly made our fingers numb and clumsy. Funnily, it was only the Note 5 again that allowed us to activate the camera and take a few shots without even touching the screen. We reached the TV tower just in time for the sunset. The city below was covered in fog, but we were mesmerized by the way the sunset rays lit the clouds and the mountaintops. Awed by this grand view, we immediately forgot how cold it was and we kept on shooting. After the sun had gone down, it was time to get back to the office and start working on preparing the results of the field test. Mostly all phones took some great shots, so much so that we found it hard to pick the one we liked the best. With the notable exception of the Huawei Mate 8, of course. It turned out that its camera had a software issue which prevented it from focusing properly. We only realized that when we came back, so most of its photos were no good. So you'll see us compare the big guns to Meizu's Pro 5 instead. It's a phone capable of taking some fantastic photos in daylight too. As expected, the amazing camera of the LG V10 brought out the most detail in the scenes. It also had the widest field of view, which allowed it to capture the sweeping vistas easily, but the image sharpness was compromised in the corners. The iPhone's 6s Plus photos had the warmest feel and captured the sun's rays hitting the snow in the most spectacular way. It also rendered marvelously any scenes which involved shooting against the sun. We had all phones recording videos and time-lapses in temperatures lower than what their manufacturers advised, and found that the iPhone's battery ran flat within the hour while the LG V10s lasted about 2 hours of video recording. Finally, the Note 5 and the Mate 8 happily endured the cold, losing about a quarter of their battery capacity for each hour of video recording. The reality is that, if you're not into pixel peeping, any of those camera phones will do an excellent job for capturing the snow-covered mountain scenes. If we had to pick one smartphone to take up there in the cold, it would probably be the Note 5, as it allowed us to take snapshots without touching the screen. Its battery also held charge for hours of sub-freezing temperature use, and we enjoyed every minute of it.